If you're a Disney Vacation Club member, chances are you already know that with 2025, we're going to see some changes to DVC. More specifically, some changes to the incidental benefits that we have access to as Disney Vacation Club members. Although it's not necessarily accurate to say changes, at least not for everything. Updates is probably more like what we're looking at. One of those updates, or maybe you could call it an addition, an additional option, I mean, you can decide, is now the ability to pay for perks that we once had access to just as part of our Disney Vacation Club membership. It's called Membership Magic Beyond, and it's something that we've talked about already here on the channel, so I'm not going to dig into it today, but of course, as 2025 has rolled around, DVC has been posting a lot about this, letting people know that this option is available. But that's not the only change that Disney Vacation Club members need to be aware of. In fact, it's hardly even the most important change that they need to be aware of, which is why we're talking today, because there's an update to Moonlight Magic that, well, I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but you need to know about it, especially if you're one of the many Disney Vacation Club members who wants to take advantage of this pretty cool little perk. Now, before we dig into the changes that are coming to Moonlight Magic, I want to take a second and give a brief overview of what exactly the event is. Like, what is Moonlight Magic? Just in case there are any new DVC members joining us today who, gotta get up to speed, gotta all be on the same page. So, what is Moonlight Magic? Moonlight Magic is one of the incidental benefits that we have as Disney Vacation Club members, but it's not available to all Disney Vacation Club members. It's just to Disney Vacation Club members who purchased direct and met a certain points threshold when buying into DVC. So in other words, because I know that that's a lot, anyone who is exclusively a Disney Vacation Club member through resale, this isn't something that you'll have access to. It's only for those direct members, or as some might call them, blue card holders. The event is, in a nutshell, an after-hours event, exclusively available to Disney Vacation Club members who qualify for membership benefits, as I just explained, and their guests. It takes place at select parks on select dates, and during the event, it's a very limited capacity, so the lines are shorter, and sometimes you have free food and various activities. Maybe you can meet rare characters. It's a pretty cool little perk. Of course, because it is such a limited event, you do have to register in advance. And that's where the change that we expect to see is gonna take place. But we'll get more into that here in a second. Registration for this event takes place via a lottery system that you can enter into via a link on the Moonlight Magic registration page. And there are various registration dates that, depending on your circumstance, you qualify for. The first is called early registration. This is going to be for those members who are eligible for membership benefits who have a qualifying reservation on the date of the event. The second is for all other Disney Vacation Club members who are eligible for membership benefits. That's whether they have a reservation or not. Now, just because you have a qualifying reservation does not mean that you will guarantee yourself a spot at a Moonlight Magic event. And to that same point, just because registration or early registration fills up does not mean that that secondary registration for all other members won't open. You catching my drift? In other words, it is very much a possibility that you have booked a reservation, a qualifying reservation, tried to get in, couldn't, and someone who didn't have a reservation could get in. Now, before I move on from the topic of registration specifically, because I did get this question very recently, there is no tip or trick that I can give you in order to make it more likely that you'll get in when registering for Moonlight Magic. It really is a lottery system, and it's the luck of the draw. So the best I could recommend is, having multiple devices that you can all try and enter the queue with in an attempt to see if one gets a better position than another. But, again, it's a lottery. It's hit or miss. And that's also something that I've tried with no success. It didn't really benefit me in any meaningful way. And I know that's not what you want to hear, and I wish that I had something more for you, but unfortunately, just is what it is. And I gotta be real with you, I don't even think that it's particularly beneficial to have a reservation. I mean, I don't know that it's especially beneficial to have a reservation because, like I said, that doesn't guarantee that you'll get a slot. And in the past, I have had reservations and haven't gotten in. But moving on from that, as cool as Moonlight Magic is, as awesome of an event as it is, it's one of the perks and benefits that not every Disney Vacation Club member has access to. And I'm not just talking about because you have to be here in order to take advantage of it. Clearly, the event takes place at Walt Disney World. There's also an event, I think it's one this year. I want to say there was one last year as well that takes place over in Disneyland. So I mean, it goes without saying that you have to be able to get to the event to be able to participate. But that's not why I say it's difficult to take advantage of. It's difficult to take advantage of because it's hard to get into. Like I said, it's a lottery. So there's really no rhyme or reason to who gets in versus who doesn't. And that means a lot of people, myself included, they don't make the cut. And look, there's really no way around it. That can be super disappointing, especially if you went the route of booking a stay to hopefully get into early registration, and then you realize you've got the stay planned, you've maybe even made plans to travel to Florida, and still no dice. And like so many other situations over the years when it comes to DVC. I think that there are Disney Vacation Club members who, they communicated their concerns, they shared their displeasure with being unable to attend these events, and Disney Vacation Club, well, it seems like they listened. Because starting this year, for the Moonlight Magic events that are coming up really soon, Disney has gone the route, or Disney Vacation Club has gone the route of updating some of their policies around who can register for which events. So the new registration policy reads as follows. In order to allow as many members as possible to enjoy Disney Vacation Club Moonlight Magic, members are eligible to register for one event date during each event season. Winter is January and February, spring is April through June, and summer is July through September, regardless of whether your registered event date was confirmed during early registration or during general registration. So what this means is, in an attempt to try and make Moonlight Magic available to more members, DVC is going the route of limiting how many Moonlight Magic events you can register for. So you can only choose one per season, making it so that you could, at best, attend 3 Moonlight Magic events per year. Now, what this means for the average Disney Vacation Club member who wants to attend Moonlight Magic, well, I think that we need to be a little bit more intentional with the events that we want to go to or want to try to go to. Not every park is going to be available during every season. So if we want to maybe attend the Moonlight Magic over at Disney's California Adventure, we want to make sure that we're not trying to go for Hollywood Studios, if that's going to be available later in the year. It's going to require a little bit more planning. It's just something I think is important to keep in mind, making sure that we're looking at the whole schedule for the whole year so we don't block ourselves out of something else that we really wanted to do. But even so, it's still a lottery. The process of registration is still the same. The hope is that this will just make some more availability for other members. And that's where I have my question. Is this a change that is a meaningful one, or is this a change that's mostly about optics? See, I have my doubts when it comes to whether or not this will actually mean more availability for Disney Vacation Club members, because with how difficult it is to get into Disney Vacation Club Moonlight Magic events, I wonder how many members are capable of attending multiple events, if not all of the events, all year long. I mean, presumably it would be a pretty big percentage, right? Because that percentage would be high enough that limiting how many events you can attend per year would be a meaningful change, right? But I mean, I have my doubts. And I know that this is just based on my own personal experience, and everyone's experience is different, and my experience might not reflect reality, that's life. But I find it very difficult to believe that even trying to attend every Moonlight Magic event over the course of a year, being able to get into none, even with qualifying reservations, I mean, what is the percentage of people that this will eliminate? from being able to attend those events. Now look, I could speculate with you for like the next hour how I think that this is going to go, but we won't know how it works until we actually see it rolled out. And it'll probably take some time, because one Moonlight Magic event is not going to be enough to get a sense of how well this goes. We're going to have to get through seasons and maybe even the entire year to see if this was a change worth making. And you know, like I've been saying for so many other things related to Disney recently, I'm hoping for the best here. I'm optimistic that this will be a meaningful change and that this will make Moonlight Magic available to more members, because goodness knows we are all Disney Vacation Club members who I think that we should be able to take advantage of the benefits that are part of our membership, you know, incidental or not. At some point you should be able to do a Moonlight Magic event. You should be able to have all these other little perks that Disney says you'll have when you buy DVC. I know that that's kind of a topic and a tangent we could be here again all day talking about, but we'll just have to wait. Okay, we'll just have to wait. Now, for me personally, 2025 is not really a DVC year. Of course, we're going to talk about DVC, you know, here and there, but I'm kind of balancing out my points. I had a whole point situation over the past year. Just plans fell through and I used all my points for 2025 with the exception of just a few. So we might have a stay, like a really brief one, but all this to say, I'm not going to be part of that early registration because I won't have any qualifying resort stays. So I do think that if I'm able to get in as just the general DVC public, it'll be interesting. But, you know, we'll keep track of it. We'll keep track of it, we'll let you know, and we'll let you know what our thoughts are kind of later on as time passes and we see what this actual change looks like, you know, once it's worked out in the wash. But look, I want to hear from you. I know there are a lot of you out there who are Disney Vacation Club members. I'm sure you've thought about attending Moonlight Magic, maybe have some thoughts on this. Tell me what they are in a comment down below. Let me know if you're excited for this change, if you're hoping that it's a meaningful one, or if you think that this is just one of those things that Disney's doing to make it look like they're doing something, but it's not really going to do much. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day wherever it is you are. Until next time, bye guys.